Hi, everyone. Good to see you here today.
Mhm.
Happy New Year to you all. Looks like we've got a good group jumping on right now. So I'm just going to give you another, 20, 30 seconds or so to connect before we get started. Right. Looks like most people have successfully connected at this point. So, yeah, let's get going. So, first of all, welcome. Great to have everybody here. We are going to be recording this information session. So if you do need to log off early, if you missed something, wanted to go back and watch it again, we will be sending out the recording to everybody who registered today. And we should also be putting it up on our YouTube page. So no worries there. We do have a bunch of people on the call today, so let's jump right in with introductions. So my name's Courtney Bibbo. I am an admission counselor here at MCPHS, and I primarily work with applicants to our accelerated program in Manchester. So we have other staff on the call today. Why don't I toss it over to Ryan?
Yes, I'm Ryan. I'm an assistant director of admissions over on the Boston campus, and I do specifically work with pharmacy students as well. So whether you're a direct entry student or looking to jump into the professional phase over in Boston, I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And we do have a faculty member here today, so I'll let Professor Grams introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Kathy Grams. Hopefully you can hear me. Did I connect right?
Yep.
Oh, excellent. So my name's Kathy Grams. I've been with CPHS for about 17 years, almost 18 years in pharmacy practice, and a pharmacist by trade. Love the profession and love to, help students along. I am the director of a non-traditional PharmD program, but I am the admissions chair for the pharmacy program that you are looking at today.
Excellent. And we have several current pharmacy students here with us today. So to just quickly introduce themselves, we'll start, just kind of go around the room. Emma, can we start with you?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. I am a fourth year pharmacy student, which equates to the second professional year. And I'm on the Boston campus, and I'm so excited to meet you all.
Excellent. How about you, Marjorie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Marjorie Delorier. I am from the Manchester campus, and so the Accelerated PharmD program, and I am in my last year of, I am a P3 graduating in May.
Exciting stuff. All right, Sean?
Hi guys, I'm Sean. I'm in the Manchester campus as a P1, and I'm really excited to get started with you guys.
Excellent. Henny?
Hi everybody, my name is Henny. I'm from Worcester campus and I'm second year PharmD student. Excited to see you all and happy to help today.
And last but not least, Dorothy.
Hi everybody, my name is Dorothy and I'm from the Worcester campus, and this is my first year in the PharmD program, and it's nice to meet you guys.
All right, so that's all of us, and we are all super excited to be here today to talk about the university's program offerings through the School of Pharmacy. So as you can see, we have a bit of a presentation set up that we're ready to go through with you. We're going to talk about the different pharmacy track options that we have here, our different campuses, how to apply, and you'll also kind of hear a little bit of a live Q&A. So we've got some panel questions, and you're welcome to submit questions throughout this presentation as well. So if you look at the different kind of settings functions on your screen, you should have an option that says Q&A. So if questions come up throughout the presentation, please feel free to submit those through the Q&A, and we'll make sure we answer those along the way. All right. So let's get started. So for those of you who are new to the grad school search, to the realm of healthcare, you found yourself in a good place. Healthcare is a great place to be getting into right now. Healthcare is one of the largest industries in the United States, and with an aging population, we're just expecting job opportunity to grow. Not only that, but you're looking at MCPHS, which is a healthcare specific university offering 100 different programs in different healthcare fields. And so, in terms of the students that you're surrounded by, the faculty that you have, most everyone is kind of enveloped in the realm of healthcare. A lot of our faculty members have clinic days, so they're actually off site and kind of maintaining experience and work within the healthcare realm, and so they bring that back into the classroom. It's pretty cool. So I would like to pass it over to Dr. Grams, if you don't mind. Could you give us a little bit of information about the current landscape in pharmacy and what we're seeing for the near future? I think you're muted. Apologies.
I am. I should know better. I work in an online program. So it's a really difficult question, mainly because there's no real magic to kind of to see the future. So I see a lot of digital health is what we think is coming. There's a lot of technology. I don't think pharmacists will ever not be part of our immunizing patients in the United States. So I think that's always going to be a part of our landscape. But I think there's pharmacy, telehealth in the future. But I think technology is where the change is going to happen.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that today. It feels like kind of across the healthcare spectrum and even beyond. We had a snow day today, but I think all of us had to be here virtually to kind of still maintain classroom attendance and that sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think one of the great things when you're thinking about applying to grad school, there's kind of a lot of different, dynamic pieces that are going into that. What program's the right fit for me? What's the best cost evaluation? Like that sort of thing. And so I think some of the things that you want to know about here is just, our students are finding job placements soon after graduation, and several students even receive job offers before they graduate. I know specifically with our accelerated program, at least, every fall we have a whole slew of retail pharmacists come to campus, and they actually interview our graduating year students for positions. And so those students, they choose from a selection of them. They do a lot of interviews. Some students have 4 or 5 interviews, and you could potentially have a job offer in December, which is approximately like 5 months before you even graduate. So that's really huge to just know, okay, I just got to take my boards and pass, and then I've got this job lined up for me. So that's pretty big. And then as future pharmacy applicants, you may be aware that the profession has been ranked among the top healthcare careers by US News and World Report pretty continuously over the next several years. So if you look that up for the year 2024, pharmacy is actually number 15 as top healthcare jobs. MCPHS ranks among top pharmacy and pharm sciences schools in the nation and has also been distinguished as a top university for return on investment. So we get that coming back to school to finish a doctorate program, it's going to be an investment in a lot of ways, time, money, other resources. But we really think that with the quality of education that MCPHS can provide and the job outlook for pharmacy, that this is a really good investment of those resources. So one of the really neat things about MCPHS is that we've been around for a long time. So the university just celebrated its 200th anniversary last year. And so we've been around. We actually started out just as a school of pharmacy in Boston. We are the oldest school of pharmacy in New England and the second oldest school of pharmacy in the nation. So we've been doing this a long time. We know what we're doing. And we've certainly grown a lot since just that kind of one small building teaching pharmacy. In the past 200 years, we've grown. We now have 3 different physical campuses as well as an online presence. So we have over 7,500 students throughout all of our different campuses from all over the world. And who better to tell you a little bit about their experiences at those different campuses than our current students? So I wonder if we can maybe just go in order of, it says Boston, Worcester, Manchester on this slide. If you want to jump in, tell us kind of about your campus, the city that you're in, and the experiences you've had so far.
I guess I'll start. So I'm currently on the Boston campus, which has been absolutely amazing. It's one of the healthcare hubs in our nation, and there's tons of hospitals right in my backyard. So I go outside, and right on the street where our university is Dana-Farber Cancer Institution, Jolson's Diabetes, Boston Children's, Brigham and Women's, and Beth Israel Deaconess. And there's tons of more healthcare facilities in the greater Boston area. I've had the privilege to work at Boston Children's the past 2 years, and it's been one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. And it's changed the total trajectory of my career, but there's so many opportunities for pharmacy students or any healthcare student really in the Boston area.
Awesome. How about Henny?
Hi, so Worcester, it's not, it's smaller than the Boston campus, definitely. We are only grad students here on this campus. We don't have any undergraduate program, but it's so nice to surrounded by all small community. So we in the Worcester, we are also surrounded by few hospitals, which is St. Vincent, UMass Memorial. Memorial has 2 campuses. So there are tons of good opportunities for your rotations as well in community and institutional both. So, and besides the academic and other healthcare opportunity, there is some fun as well in Worcester, so it's not that bad.
And I chose the Manchester campus, which is in Manchester, New Hampshire, because I grew up in Vermont, so I wanted to be around mountains and I wanted that small New England feel, and Manchester, New Hampshire had that, where it's considered a city, but it's still pretty small. It's really easy to be able to get outside, and I liked how the professors that I have here on the Manchester campus, which were connected to the Worcester campus, I could see the Manchester professors regularly and they got to know my name really fast. And I just really wanted that small town feel that I'm used to, and I got that at the Manchester campus.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting. If you are in the area, all of our campuses are an hour to an hour and 20 minutes apart. So we're kind of like right in this sort of a triangle geographically. And every campus is a little bit different. Definitely the most hustle and bustle down in Boston. But Worcester is just such a fun city to be in. Lots of good food. I'm based in Manchester, but when I go down to Worcester, like that's my favorite thing is let me try a new food option today. And then yeah, here in Manchester, if you're looking for that smaller class size feel, everybody kind of knows everybody. We really kind of cherish that piece of the university here. So wonderful. All right.
All right, and a little bit more about our direct entry program, which is specific to Boston. So again, we do have this 6-year direct entry PharmD degree here. So even if you're just a freshman or coming straight out of high school, we do have that option for you, as opposed to, again, our accelerated campuses that do not have the pre-professional coursework there. You would need those prerequisites complete to enter directly into the professional phase. But in Boston, we have them if you need them. If you are complete with all the prerequisites, we do have the opportunity to start you in year 3 out of 6 to create a 4-year professional phase for you. Again, we just run a traditional fall and spring semester. That's why our professional phase takes a little bit longer than Worcester or Manchester. But you do have your summers off, so you can enjoy those however you like. And then also a couple other important notes. We do have an honors program, PharmD specific honors program available on our Boston campus. Again, and then we do also have transfer students as well that come into any part of the pre-professional phase, as well as the professional phase.
Right. So you've got your Boston option non-accelerated. And then if you're looking for an accelerated program, we offer that both in Manchester and in Worcester. So one of the biggest ways that we're able to kind of condense 4 years down into 3 is by going year round. So we do have summer semesters throughout the year. We do a fall, spring, summer. You'll do another fall, spring, and summer before going out on rotations, on your advanced rotations. And so that doesn't mean that you don't get at least like 2-3 weeks off between semesters. You will get breaks. You'll get a chance to breathe between semesters. But a lot of the students who choose that accelerated atmosphere are very excited to, get out into the workforce that much more quickly. And so no matter which program you choose to apply to, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, you do graduate with your Doctor of Pharmacy. So it is the same degree, and you graduate with the ability to take your NAPLEX or your board exam to become a licensed pharmacist. So really can't go wrong. It's just kind of choosing what is the best program for you. So to kind of help you determine, which program you might want to apply to and learn a little bit more about our school, I'd love to chat with the students a little bit now. One of the great things that we have at MCPHS, where everybody here is in a healthcare program, we do a lot of interprofessional learning. And so I'm hoping that you guys can talk to us a little bit about interprofessional education, which we call IPE for short. What is that? And can you talk about some of those experiences that you've had? And maybe Marjorie, you can tell us what it is.
Yeah, so interprofessional education is when we have activities with other professions in the school. So here on the Manchester campus, one of the ones that we did that I remember is we did Narcan training. So Narcan is used to help reverse the effects of an opioid. So we were paired with the OT students and the PA students, we discussed what each of our roles would be in the scenario of a patient having an overdose, and what does the pharmacist think, what does the OT person think, what does the PA person think. And it allows us to be able to understand what each of these medical professionals that we're going to be working with when we are pharmacists is thinking during a case or during a patient, when we're helping a patient. So that way, when we are out in the world, or me being on my advanced rotations, I'm able to be better prepared to interact with other healthcare professionals. And it's been really beneficial and helpful. And honestly, it's just really fun to see what the other students are like, what they're doing, and all that jazz.
Awesome. Does anyone else have an IPE experience that they really like that they want to talk about?
I can talk about it. So on Worcester campus, we also do a lot of IPE activity. And why I like this activity more, as she mentioned, that when she goes on rotation, it kind of really helps, because it's very important that you listen to the other professions, their opinions, what they think, and how their input's gonna come into patient treatment. So this activity is when you are together sitting on one table, and that teaches you like teaches you the listening abilities, like you putting your opinion respectfully, and taking other people professions opinions respectfully as well. So the activity we had, it is with the we also had a round table. We were supposed to read a book. That book had a topic of like included the healthcare patient, about the patient, and then the religious and the culture aspect as well. So not only the professions, but how you can deal with like the patients are, some patients come to you and they are religious, very religious, so their opinions might be different. They might not think as a healthcare aspects. So it's a very good activity to learn all this aspect besides your academics.
Yeah, and I think that's what we try to do, is find those topics that everyone's going to see in their professional career. So you're going to come across, like Henny said, people from different religions, cultures, backgrounds that just have completely different ways of life than we're used to, maybe. And you still have to treat them the same as every other patient and give them the best point of care. And so it's really cool to be able to come together with like an optometry student and talk about that, even though you're not an optometry student. Can some of you who have done some clinical rotations talk about that? Anyone who's done an IPI rotation, and then also somebody who's done an API rotation.
I can speak a little bit about the IPI rotation. So this past summer, I completed my community IPI rotation up in Wilmington, Mass, at a community pharmacy, and my preceptor was, there with me every day, and we would, go and counsel patients, and she would work with me on how to best properly counsel a patient. And then she would give me like little projects that she would potentially be doing at another point in time, to get me more experience. And it was a very wonderful way to build up my skills in patient care, as well as learning how to be a little bit more like a pharmacist and think like a pharmacist while still learning.
And I'll speak from the advanced rotations part because I am now in my 4th out of 6 at this moment in time. And I'm doing all of mine at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center. And all of the material I learned in the 2 years of being in the classroom, I'm applying to what I'm doing as an epi student. And I call it not playing, but essentially being a mini pharmacist, where I am doing as many things as I can that I could do within my pharmacist intern license. And my preceptors are giving me cases. They're asking me to look at patients. They're asking me, what do I notice? What would I change? Or what things do I need to look out for? And they're asking me these questions because that's what they do every day. And I'm able to then apply what I've learned and practice it. And then I feel very ready to graduate and be a pharmacist and provide the best care that I can.
All right, and then to switch it up a little bit, we're going to go back to the faculty and just ask a couple questions there. So the first one would be just a little bit about what makes MCPHS unique, specifically our pharmacy program, maybe what makes it a little bit different from others and stand out in a positive way.
Sure. A lot of good things that I can think of. So when I do my pharmacy interviews, people ask me what I love about the school, and the first and foremost are the faculty. The faculty that I work with, I work in Boston campus, and they are so dedicated in their role in mentoring students. It's not just about going on rotation and connecting with that role maybe that you would play, but it's connecting with the faculty and kind of seeing the intimacy, what they do, and how they can help you build your skills and kind of help you find the direction you want to go in. So that to me is, what I think you have to be comfortable where you work. And I've been here, 17 years. I haven't wanted to leave. So they're just wonderful. So the next thing about, I am again in the Boston campus, and location. We have some amazing faculty that work in some amazing sites. We're right on Longwood Medical Center, and all of the Harvard affiliated hospitals are right within reach. You can get off the T, which is our transportation system, and walk down the street. 90% have scrubs on and an ID badge around their neck, and they're walking somewhere, to the hospital. There's shuttles that take the employees around the little area. So I think location is kind of another piece. So the faculty that I work with, who are wonderful, and the location is, I think, the biggest positives that we have. And just like, people come from all over the world to be treated here. They they come from everywhere. You will see all walks of life. They're hospitals that save lives. So I think that they have their own reputation. So I think that kind of is what stands out. We are right on Longwood Ave, and we just see it every day.
Yeah, I'll certainly back that up and say that in my time here, the faculty have been awesome. So they're probably available a little bit too much. They answer me way too quickly, even on the weekends. So they're the best. So I can definitely back that up. And then I will say all three of the locations again are awesome, where I think they are pretty strategically located in three of the major cities of the Northeast. Worcester being the second largest city in New England, and then Manchester being really kind of one of the larger cities up in northern New England. So again, some really great locations, especially up in the Northeast. And then I will go back to the faculty for one more question. And just I want to speak a little bit more about like fellowship and residency opportunities. I know we do have the most fellowship and residencies in the country currently. So that's awesome, but just maybe speak a little bit more about what some of those unique opportunities are.
Sure. I personally don't have a residency, and I don't have a practice site. So I am probably speaking in terms of all of the people that are surrounding me. So we have a large residency program in Boston, and I think the majority or the focus is like ambulatory care, right? So working with the patient in the offices, directly with the physicians. We have hospital residencies where you're rounding with the clinicians and you're kind of part of a team. But I think the majority of our faculty work, at the VA or at these ambulatory sites where they're actually seeing patients themselves, which I think it's an amazing, and I feel like it's futuristic too, and that's where the pharmacy may be going. We also have a really large fellowship. And our residencies are ambulatory care and hospital. We have a great informatics residency. I mean, not residency, rotations. But we have a great fellowship program. I think there's more than 30, almost 40 people that are in the fellowship program, and there's more than a dozen different avenues that you could choose. And for those who don't know what fellowship is more of that biopharmaceutical company. So if you wanted to be part of the research, or part of the manufacturing, a part of the behind the scenes, I guess you would want to think about fellowship. If you want to be with the clinical, right, with the physicians, with other clinicians, that's more of the residency track. So there are definitely two different tracks that are available to you after you finish your rotations. And to prepare, we have this residency showcase. There's not just MCPHS residency, but there's 25 other residencies in the area that come, and they talk to students, for 3 or 4 hours. So that's kind of, you go from residency location to residency location, and it's kind of a nice night. But it's one of the things I think we do well is helping students, if that's their pathway, we want to help them get there. There's a lot of mentoring that goes in that. But that's I don't know if I can think of anything else, but if there's any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Excellent. If any of our students are thinking about doing fellowship or residency, we'd love to hear from you. But I'm also kind of curious, just, campus life, student life, could you tell us about any clubs or organizations that you are participating in while in pharmacy school?
So I'm a part of two here on the Manchester campus. One is the American Pharmacists Association, which we truncate to be APHA. And some of the fun things that we got to do is we had a health fair that we held at the local YMCA. And so there are other clubs and organizations there, both pharmacy and non-pharmacy groups. And so I got to practice giving blood pressure readings to patients, which before pharmacy school, I had no idea that was something that pharmacists did, but we do. So it was really cool to just be out in the community and discussing like, here's what pharmacists can do for you. And, you know, here's what, and then people were getting blood glucose readings and just discussing the different points that pharmacists can. And I also am a part of ROCHI, which is the Pharmacy National Honor Society. And in that, I am the treasurer. And something that we just did recently was before the holidays is that we had an open hour where pharmacy students and other students could come and we wrote cards and for some of the local nursing homes to be able to spread some holiday cheer. So we got to do that, and they've just been really fun to be able to interact with our local community and also just be able to further develop who we are going to be as pharmacists.
I can talk about more. I'm a part of two biggest organizations in the pharmacy. One is APHA, that is American Pharmacy Association, and second is the Industry Pharmacy organization. So in my first year, what I did was like I used to go to all the events organized by different organizations, kind of got to know what these organizations do. And it helped me explore my career pathways that, oh, if I'm interested in residency or fellowship or the community pharmacy, because when you're in school, you learn about the didactic part of you learn about all the different chemistry and this and that, but the practical knowledge or their work like scenario, what the residents do, what fellows do, that you get to know through these different organizations. Being in the 3-year program, like we don't get to do the internship or anything else because we also have the summer school. So I think through this organization, attending those events really helped me to explore my career options. And then my second year, I decided, oh, I'm really more interested in fellowship. So I kind of dive more into the IPHO, which is Industry Pharmacy Organization. So now I get to organize the events. I get to and these organizations also are the best way to network with the different professionals from different areas. So not only you get your leadership experience, but these are the best ways to explore your different options.
And I was just gonna jump in real quick and just say that it's as a P1, this is my first. I just finished my first semester, and I'm already a part of a ton of different clubs, so it's pretty easy to get involved. And on the more fun side, I run the club called the Outing Club, and it's just about going out and having fun and doing events, and it's a really fun time to just interact with all the other professionals. So there's more than just the school focus. There's also the fun stuff too.
Over on the Boston campus, I've had the pleasure of being a part of our Drug Information Association as well as Lambda Kappa Sigma, which was founded at our university a little over 100 years ago, which I think is a really cool fun fact. And it's been a really great way to build up networking and build up your skills. So recently, like in the Worcester campus, we just had a residency fellowship panel with LKS. And it was a great way to meet some previous alumni and get to know where we need to be or get to where we need to be in order to do what we want to do. But also we have a lot of fun. So I'm the current social chair for LKS, and we just had our Thanksgiving this past November, our Friendsgiving, if you will. It was a great way to bond and, take the stress off right before final exam week.
Are you going to ask me about organizations?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to talk about any
Sure.
organizations that I don't know if you're also involved in.
Yeah, no, I am involved. That's why I think that I talk about pharmacy organizations every time I interview someone, only because I think that's such an important experience, and not just for the organization that I mentor, but or that I'm an advisor for, but for just to be part of the MCPHS community almost. Finding fellow students that have the same like as you, it's a really, I think it takes you away from all academics, and it's not always about academics are important, but being a part of something, communicating with others, it's just as important as your academic career, and this helps you network in the future. So these large organizations are what pharmacists are part of when you leave the college. So when you leave the university, you join not just to be part of MCPHS student organization, but to be part of the national organization that is important in whatever, I guess, avenue, right? APHA is really a large pharmacy organization with multiple subcommittees and subgroups, and being part of the national organization is important too. So I'm part of faculty mentor for ASCP, which is the American Society of Consultant Pharmacists, and our focus is caring for older patients. So not always a focus on, nursing home, but older patients, and older patients are part of, I think, every pharmacy pathway, right? So, and I'm part of the national organization for ASCP. So ASCP National, and then the student organization, I'm the secretary for our Massachusetts chapter. So just being a part and networking with others, I think, is an important part of your school in general. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. And I actually, the next question is actually going back to you, Professor Grams, and students are also welcome to chime in if they have some experiences that they want to talk about too. But just wanted to go over a little bit about the research opportunities that are here within the PharmD program. I know there's some built into the curriculum, but also there's a lot of opportunity beyond that as well.
Yes, so that's another avenue that you can participate in. So we have, and I guess kind of a list of pharmacists, for our faculty who work at MCP, and all of the research that they're doing and currently doing. So you can do it individually and look at kind of a general list and say, oh, do you need any, student help in your whatever research project they're working on? And we also have a SURF program, which is Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship, which is application based, but you apply, and then they pair you with a faculty mentor where you research, and it's not just for the summer. You could be part of their research team for 3 years or 4 years while you're here. So it really, the doors are wide open for this, success in research is in the Boston. I can't, comment on other campus, but in the Boston campus, I can.
All right, thank you. Yes, I've heard a lot of that similar feedback, and also I believe I've heard the PharmD Honors Program in Boston is another great way to add some research to your time. But I don't know if either of any of the students from Worcester or Manchester had any research experiences, just to give a perspective outside of Boston.
Yeah, I can talk about research more. So also in Worcester campus, as Professor mentioned, that we also have the SURF program here. So you applied in your first year for the SURF program and you get a grant. They pair with your faculty after the application process, and they also do interviews to select the participants. And some professors also do their own individual research that is not part of SURF. So if you're interested just working with them during their class sessions, they come and introduce what kind of research they do. So if you're really interested doing that, you can go to their office hours and talk more about your interest, and if it aligns, you can join them. And besides that, also school offers concentration that is a part of your elective. So concentration is also kind of research that you do with the professors, and school also offers some graduate certificate programs that you can do. That is not a research, but that is a part of elective. Once you graduate with that additional graduate certificate. For example, school offers graduate certificate in like precision medicine and the regulatory affairs, the business management, this and that. These are just few examples, but there are many more. So yeah, these are the opportunities in research and concentration.
All right. And just before we go over the application process, as people are kind of thinking about where they're applying and which campus and program they're going to want to apply to, we love to ask our students kind of why did you choose MCPHS? And then also kind of as a sub question, why did you choose your campus? Marjorie, I'm
go
going to
first.
start. Oh, there we go. Yes.
No, it's fine if not. I can go first. So I wanted to go to MCPHS since I was 13 years old. My hometown's about an hour away. And when I was 13, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. And we used to come in every Monday morning at 5 a.m. to Dana-Farber, which is right down the street from where I go to school. And she would, get treated, meet with her oncologist, get her chemotherapy done. But I got to meet some of the pharmacists and pharmacy technicians who would talk to her about her pharmacist rather, who would talk to her about her chemotherapy before she received it. And all of her nursing staff was also from MCPHS, which got me interested. And then I think I first stepped on campus when I was 15 and instantly fell in love with the area. I fell in love with the attitude of the school. I love that everyone at MCPHS has one common goal of taking care of the patient. And this sense of community really has, given all of us this drive, to do well in class and and all that fun stuff. But I do love being on the Boston campus because of the opportunities in the area. But I also love walking past Dana-Farber every morning on my way to school and just seeing where what propelled me into becoming a pharmacy student. And it gives me that inspiration to keep going.
I just like hearing Emma's story every time we're on an information session together. So my story is a little different. I am a little older, so I went and got my undergraduate degree and my master's degree at the University of Vermont. And I have a master's degree in pharmacology, the study of drugs. So I kind of always knew that probably pharmacy was in my future, but I wanted to go and work. And then I went and did something not pharmacy related at all. And then COVID hit. And that's when I learned that I really wanted to be working with the patients. My sister-in-law is a nurse practitioner, and I was just so jealous that she was able to help patients during that critical time of the pandemic. And so I applied to MCPHS, and I chose to apply to the Manchester campus specifically because when I was thinking about applying to pharmacy school before I ended up working, I just knew I wanted to get it done. And so the accelerator program was more for me, and rather than doing 4 years, so I could get it done in 3. And I just loved the vibe of Manchester. When I visited, there was the students and the faculty interacting, just showed me that it was going to be a really excellent community. And I could tell that the professors really cared about how their students were doing and that they wanted the students to succeed. And I knew that that's what I needed, and that this was going to be the place where I was going to succeed, and it was going to help me succeed.
I can jump in next and talk about why I chose MCP. Um, for starters, I mean, 200 years, the school's got to be doing something right if it's able to last that long. And then I love that it was just a healthcare, small, focused school. I'm not competing for resources with a business major or mathematics, or I'm surrounded by is other healthcare professionals. Um, and what really sold me on MCP was that I post my undergrad was trying to figure out where I wanted to go. Do I want to go to medical school or PA school or what? And I was just shadowing around and I shadowed an MCP graduate and I just saw that the job as a pharmacist was great, but then the quality of pharmacist that MCP produced, that made me enticed on why I wanted to go here. And then choosing Manchester was an easy choice for me. I love New Hampshire. The scenery can't be beat. I think in my few times I interacted with professors on just a tour or a visit or something like that, I got along with them all very great. And that kind of just sold it in. And yeah, I love New Hampshire. I love MCPHS.
I can talk about my experience. So I'm an international student. I'm from India. So I also did undergraduate degree. I did not do master's, but only undergrad in biochemistry. So I also spent 4 years. And being an international student, I'm restricted to work outside. So I didn't want it to spend like my summer because during undergrad, I've done enough volunteering and shadowing and all those different stuff. So I wanted to use my summer and finish my studying as fast as I can. So not a lot of schools offers 3-year programs. So I just came up to the MCP and saying that, oh, it offers 2 years and 10 months program. So that kind of tempted me a lot. And doing some more research and attending webinars like this kind of made me answer my questions that I had about the program and everything. So I attended a lot of webinars and kind of connected with the students who are already in the program. So while talking to the students, got to know about how the courses are organized, how they're helpful while you go on rotation. So and talk about the resources that are available on MCPHS, the example, the research and concentration that I talked about. That was the other thing that kind of attracted my interest because right now I'm doing the research in oncology. That was the biggest thing I ever wanted to do. So having given that all experiences kind of attracted me for the MCP Worcester campus, and the Boston is also great, but between Boston and Worcester, the 3-year program kind of led me choose Worcester campus. Worcester is also surrounded by the great hospitals and the community settings here, so choosing rotations are not even that hard. I had my EP rotations and they all were great, and the flexibility that you get here, like even if you struggle, the professors are always there to help you. And for your rotations also, I always talk about my interest to the professors. They guide me. Even I'm more interested in fellowship, so I have some professors that they are guiding me through the process. Like, oh, you should do this to prepare yourself and do this. And one other thing, in MCP Worcester campus, in your 3rd year, they also prepare you for the NAPLEX course. So while you're on rotations, at the same time in the school, they're prepping you for the NAPLEX exam. So by the time you graduate, they make sure that you are all good for your NAPLEX exam. So these are a few things kind of led me choose MCP Worcester campus.
Awesome. That is some great feedback. And hopefully that makes you excited to apply to MCPHS. So why don't we jump right into it, Ryan?
Yeah, so how to apply, and hopefully it's not too difficult. But if you're looking for professional phase of any of the 3 campuses, you will want to apply through PharmCast. Now, if you're looking for pre-professional entry to like the Boston campus, it's a little bit different. It's through our website. But again, if you're looking for Manchester, Worcester, or Boston professional entry, you'll go to the PharmCast website at pharmcast.org. You'll fill out that application, and you will make sure to apply to the specific campus that you're most interested in. So if you want to apply to Boston and Worcester, that doesn't really work out so well. We can only consider you for one program. So whichever of those campuses is most interesting to you, you'll want to just apply to that specific campus. With that application, you're going to submit a few things to PharmCast so that they are able to verify and relay that to us. You'll submit transcripts from any school that you've attended, any college. If you have any international transcripts from college, you'll get those translated and evaluated by WES. I believe it stands for the World Education Services. But again, that should be at wes.org. We do require one letter of recommendation. That can be academic, that can be professional. You could do more than one if you like. We'll consider all of the ones that you do submit. So if you do want maybe one of each, one academic, one professional, or more, again, we'll take a look at them all. So one minimum, but then you'll also need a personal statement. It should be about 500 to 1,000 words. The prompt is on FarmCast, so you'll see that when you do start that application process. I guess mainly it's about really why you want to pursue pharmacy. But again, it will give you a little bit more detail once you do start the application. For any student that has not graduated from a US college and English is not your first language, we may require an English language proficiency exam. We do have all of the exams we accept, as well as the corresponding scores on our website. If you ever need any help with that, just let an admissions counselor know, and we can go over what your options are there. And then also important to note that the PCAT is not required as part of the application, just the things that we had previously mentioned. So once you submit all of those documents to FarmCast, you'll be ready to submit your application. And again, I recommend if you are looking for this upcoming fall cycle, now's a great time to apply. If you're looking for like fall 2025 instead, you have some time, but I still recommend, the earlier you apply, the better. So for fall 2025 students, maybe this upcoming fall is a good time to think about applying. Even if you have in progress prerequisites, you can still at least apply and start that process. Okay, a little bit more about, again, some admissions details here. So you will see that for this upcoming fall, the deadline to submit your FarmCast is June 3rd. Again, I don't recommend waiting that long. Even if you have in progress prerequisites, now's a great time to apply. We can get you hopefully a decision sooner as we admit on a rolling basis, as well as go over again all of your any scholarship information, prerequisites that you might have outstanding, and really make sure that we're not rushing you through the process over the summer. Some things that we do take a look at and consider, and I'll ask for some faculty help in just a minute on some of these application factors, but we do for competitive applications look at GPAs, both overall and science GPAs, as well as prerequisite GPAs. We look at your personal statement and why you're interested in pharmacy, and kind of your motivation behind choosing a PharmD program. Once we do look at your FarmCast, we will usually get back to you pretty quickly on your next steps. If you are invited to an interview, we would then be able to set that up with you. In Boston, we do them virtually. I could be corrected, but I believe Worcester and Manchester have both in-person and online options. Okay. And with that interview, you'll meet with an admissions counselor, a faculty member, and we'll have some questions for you, as well as an opportunity for you to again ask some questions of us, and then there will be a writing sample as well. And then for prerequisite completion, we really just need them all complete by August 1st before you start with us. We're looking for a C or higher in all of the prerequisite classes. The courses, again, can be in progress. Any math or science courses do have a 10-year expiration. If they are more than 10 years old, they're reviewed on a case-by-case basis. So again, that would be done, after you submit your FarmCast. We would let you know on that. Oh, and then I guess just really quickly, I don't know if Professor Grams has any tips on maybe what really makes for a strong application.
Sorry, my mouse was stuck. I guess I have some experiences where I believe the academic record we look at, make sure you have your prerequisites or for prerequisites in progress, we look at it in a way, can you succeed with the curriculum? I think more than just every grade has to be an A. That's not how we, view your application. So it's not all about the highest GPA gets in. So what we do for our face-to-face interview are, behavioral social interview questions. So they are all about you, and they are personal experiences that help illustrate the topic that we ask. So if we ask about empathy, if we ask about resilience or teamwork, things like that, you'll be able to, kind of draw from your experiences. And, that's not required that you work in a pharmacy. It's not required that you have had any pharmacy experiences, but any experiences that can illustrate that you can communicate and you can get your points across. Same with your writing sample. Your writing sample is an answer to a prompt where we give you a small reading and you answer based on the reading, and you use some, writing skills that you've learned in whatever university you've been in to answer the question. So the all the directions and all of what we are looking for in the grading, but it's really just communicating for both, right? You communicate in writing to answer a prompt, you communicate in, face to face to answer our questions. And
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I guess tips, I don't know. I think tips would be to kind of look up what behavioral social interview questions are, and you'll probably find hundreds.
I think that's super helpful. We do have some students maybe a little concerned about the interview portion, so I think that's a great overview. Okay, yeah, and also really important. So before we kind of wrap up the application process, financial aid and scholarships. So how are you going to fund your education? That's incredibly important. So once you apply with your decision, if you're admitted, you will receive scholarship information. We automatically consider all students for merit scholarships, so it's not something you have to separately apply for. Again, with your decision, if you receive a merit scholarship, you will understand what that amount would be at that same time as you get your acceptance. I would say, again, the earlier you apply, the better. Usually the earlier applications do receive priority for merit scholarships. There's just more award money available earlier in the cycle. So again, if you're thinking about this fall, there's no better time to apply than now. Certainly scholarships are not the only thing that can help you fund your education. So if you're not familiar with, FAFSA already, that's a great thing to apply for. That way, for any domestic students that are eligible, you're able to see what the federal government might award you for, grants, loans, things like that, to again help to finance your education. That gives us really a fuller picture of what your financial, obligation might look like after we look at scholarship, after we look at your federal aid. And then I always recommend setting up an affordability appointment with an admissions counselor, such as myself, and we can kind of go over, what it really is going to look like after we take into consideration all of your aid. And so you have a really good understanding of, what each year is going to cost you within the program. So I think that's really important in solving all of that after you're admitted, but before you, kind of make a decision on if this is the right fit for you, making sure that financially it looks like something that's feasible for you.
All right, and I know we're coming right up on time, so this is our last slide, just to let everybody in attendance know. We do want to provide our contact information. So as we mentioned, we kind of each split admission questions with our applicants by admission counselors. So I work with our Manchester applicants. Our counterpart in Worcester is Julie Challoner. If you're applying to Worcester, you've probably already heard from her. And then Ryan here works with our Boston applicants. And so, we just, before I get to the last Q&A question here, if anyone has any questions to pop into the Q&A, please do it now. We'd really love for you to visit campus. We can tell you a lot about our community and what it's like to be at MCPHS and how special it is. But I think it's really important as you're narrowing down the schools that you're going to attend to come visit if you can. So mcphs.edu/visit, you can do a virtual tour. If you're long distance, you can certainly start with that. We have virtual tours of all of our campuses. We have on-campus tours at all campuses year round. We even do Saturday tours. And, keep an eye out in your email over the next month or two. I know at least for the accelerated programs in Worcester and Manchester, we're planning out some open houses, and Boston does a lot of open houses too throughout the spring semester. So keep an eye out for those. A lot of stuff coming up this spring. And we'd absolutely love to see you on campus. Now for that last question in the Q&A, and go ahead and even take like a screenshot or a picture of this slide if that's helpful for you to just have our contact information readily available. So we did have a question about, kind of dual major, double majors, or kind of tacking on a second degree to your program and whether that's an option at MCPHS. And so that is an option. We have dual degree enrollment with our online Masters of Public Health program, no matter which program you're enrolled in. It's not something that you apply for through PharmCAS. Basically, we want to make sure you're doing well in pharmacy school before we tack on that second degree. So it's something that you would tack on after you start here. But basically, you can tack on MPH courses, public health courses throughout your time at MCPHS. A bulk of those are going to be in that clinical year where you have less commitment to being on campus for class and labs for the PharmD program. And basically, when you graduate, you're going to graduate with both your PharmD and your MPH. So I think the value there is 2 degrees for the price of 1, right? So you're tacking on this dual major, but it does not tack on any financial responsibility. And so that's pretty exciting right there. If that's something that you're interested in doing, just know that that's an option for the future. Now, this question did specifically ask about an MBA. We do have an online MBA in healthcare management. And so while it is not part of the dual degree options, we have a bunch of online degrees that you can complete, master's degrees that you can complete after graduation with our alumni scholarship. And the MBA is one of those programs. So basically, as soon as you finish your PharmD, as long as you maintain the GPA required, you can get into one of these programs, including the MBA. And we have an alumni scholarship. So basically, students who come back to complete one of these degrees under the alumni scholarship would receive a 50% tuition discount. The online programs are really cool because you can do them while working. And so it's really convenient where you can be working and actually earning money as a pharmacist while getting your MBA, MPH, Master's in Clinical Research. There's a few different options there. So yeah. I don't know if anyone else is anyone in the dual degree MPH on this call today? I'm not sure if anybody is. No. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's time for us. We don't want to keep you too much longer. We are so excited that you came to join us today at MCPHS. Wishing you a happy new year. And of course, as always, encouraging you to get going on that application since we do have rolling admission. So any questions, stay in contact with Julie, Ryan, or I, and we look forward to working with you. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see ya.